We are back for episode 5 of the Knights of the Round Table podcast. Let's go. I'm Jack Kaiser. Thanks for hopping on with us. Bellarmine athletes and coaches are coming on weekly, and we love sharing their stories. Every episode is on the Bellarmine Athletics YouTube page. You can find the links and clips across our social media platforms at BU Knights. 70 degrees today, which is really weird. We're closing in on mid-November, 40 degrees and raining in our future until spring, though. We'll take it right now. The other good news is basketball season's here. College basketball tipped off across the country yesterday. The men's team was in action at Purdue, and the women's team debuts at Cincinnati on Friday. Perfect time to talk to the only fifth-year senior and the top returning scorer for the Knights women's team, Lauren Deel. Lauren, you had an interesting trip over here. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. Better than my flat tire. That's now fixed, though, so that's good.
That's good. So your dad has some experience with that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Came to your rescue?
Always does. It's all the time. But good thing is I have a Jeep, so I do have the spare on my back of my car, but I can't change it, so I always have to wait on him. Gotcha.
The other thing I noticed when you came in here, you have a fanny pack on that has Lauren in the Friends font.
Yeah, my brother's fiance, at her bachelorette party, it was a 90s themed bachelorette party. So yeah, this is my fanny pack, and I've been using it for like the last month since I got it.
The thing about fanny packs is they're so convenient. Like
they really are.
I don't know why more people don't wear them.
Yeah, no, I always had my purse on my left shoulder, and my left shoulder feels a lot better now that the weight is on my hips and not there.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's distributed.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Also, I was wondering, everyone calls you Lo. I know that's kind of short for Lauren. How did that start?
It started my freshman year. I'd never had a nickname like that before, and then I just guess it's easier to say than Lauren, and it stuck, but I like it a lot now. I enjoy being called that, and that's usually what I refer to more times than not.
Yeah, I'm sure it's weird that you're called Lauren outside of maybe class and like something official.
Yeah, the only thing bad about it is we have like a play we call Low, L-O-W. My name is Lo, L-O, and so when she calls it, I'm like, are you yelling at me or are you yelling for the play? So, but that's the only tricky thing about it.
Tell her to change up the play call.
Yeah, I'm like, usually I know because it's usually low shot clock, but it's sometimes you just don't know.
Right.
Just hope for the best.
Yeah. So we start off every podcast this way. What would you be doing right now if you weren't here with us?
As in, I wasn't an athlete, or as in I didn't take my fifth year?
No, like right now, in this moment. It's 2:30 on Wednesday, or is it Wednesday? Wednesday. Like, what would you be doing right now?
Probably napping. Usually, yeah.
That's an answer we've gotten a few times.
Oh, yeah. Big on the naps.
Yeah.
Anywhere you can squeeze them in, take advantage of it.
I feel like athletes have to have them.
Oh, yeah.
You guys are so busy that, I mean, I ran on naps, and I wasn't a student athlete, so you guys need that little boost of energy.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I was wondering, as we approach Thanksgiving or Christmas person?
I'm more of a Christmas person. I'm not one of those people who love Thanksgiving food. I usually just eat like a lot of mashed potatoes. Don't really touch the turkey or the stuffing. So Christmas is definitely more my holiday, and plus it's right by my birthday, so it's all fun for me.
When's your birthday?
December 16th, so a week before.
Okay. Yeah, it's good that it surrounds the birthday. I know a couple people who have their birthdays on like Christmas Eve or Christmas, and I feel like that kind of takes away from the birthday a little bit.
For me, it never has. Even though like I'm a week before, my parents, my friends, everybody's always done good about keeping my birthday, and Christmas is Christmas, and never really mixing the two. So I've never had to experience anything like that, thankfully. But yeah,
I feel like you're the perfect distance away where it just kind of adds to the season, and it doesn't take away anything from your birthday.
Right.
Not that most people care, but still. And then for Thanksgiving, I know you said you don't like traditional Thanksgiving food. So, like, what's your go-to on Thanksgiving Day?
Broccoli casserole and mashed potatoes.
Okay.
Lots of mashed potatoes. I love potatoes. It's bad how much I could eat potatoes in any form.
Potatoes are so good, though, and they're everywhere, so it makes sense.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm more of a Christmas guy myself, too, but Thanksgiving, I've heard a lot of people lean that way just because they enjoy the food and the leftovers for like a week. So I guess it comes down to whether you enjoy eating or getting presents more.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah. I also think like Thanksgiving's very overshadowed with the like holiday spirit of Christmas. So and that's probably also why I like Christmas. It's just a happy time, and Thanksgiving, it should be a happier time, like what people make it seem, but everybody's so excited about the food and not the thankfulness. So.
Well, yeah, people start playing Christmas music the day after Halloween, which is ridiculous, by the way. They don't play Thanksgiving music.
Yeah. So. Well, is there Thanksgiving music?
I don't think so.
Exactly.
No, so it makes sense. Also, I was listening to the radio this morning driving over here. I heard them asking callers, what item would you spend a crazy amount of money on from a movie or a TV show? And I wanted to ask you that.
Ooh. Back to the Future, the car. That'd be a good one to spend your money on.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, get the car.
Like the actual car they used in the movie set?
No, I want the car to actually take me back, take me back in the past, send me in the future. If it can do that, then I'll spend my money on it.
Okay, no, that's very wise. I think it was phrased more as like memorabilia item. Like they said, like Katniss Everdeen's like bow from the movie.
Yeah, I'd maybe go with like Thor's hammer or something.
That's pretty sweet.
That'd be pretty cool.
I wonder how heavy it actually is.
If I'm going to go with it's pretty light.
Yeah.
He's throwing that thing every which way. No way he has that much arm strength to be doing that.
He's a strong guy, but it's not like he's throwing that 60-pound hammer all over the place all day. I agree. I'll have to think about mine for a while, but it's interesting the Thor one you said. I like that.
Big Marvel movie person.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your favorite Marvel movie?
Probably Thor Ragnarok or Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange is so underrated.
It's so good. The first time I watched it, I was dying laughing, and I was like, this is such a good movie.
Yes.
And people just kind of push him off because he's not like one of the original Avengers and all that. But his movie, it's hilarious. It's great. I love it.
And Benedict Cumberbatch is so good.
He's amazing. I love him. From that movie, like that really got me on Benedict Cumberbatch. I was like, I know who he is now.
He's got one of the most recognizable voices I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like it's the deepest, most, it's smoothest voice ever. It's amazing.
Yeah.
I love him in that role. I'm glad you said Doctor Strange too. So what's it like being the oldest player on the team?
Well, my body is definitely feeling it. I remember being a freshman and being like, oh, I'll never feel old. And now I'm here and I'm like, okay, yep, I'm feeling it everywhere. All the time, just aches and pains, but it's different. It's weird, like not going up to an upperclassman for things I need to talk about, and I always went to the coaches too. But like the coaches are really like who I go to now for guidance, rather than when I was a junior and below. Like I would go to the upperclassmen and talk to them about things they need from me on the court and all that. So that's a little different, but I enjoy being like the oldest one. It's like having a bunch of little sisters, and they're all so funny. They really are. And yeah, it's cute to just adore them and play with them and do all this, just like see them grow too. So like our freshmen last year, they're here again, sophomores, their progress, and sophomores to juniors and all that. And next year I'll come back and I'll see how the freshmen are doing as sophomores, and that's really cool. Yeah,
it's cool because you went through it yourself. You know how you progressed over time, and you get to see other people do that.
Yeah.
It's really a cool change of perspective there. So was basketball like always the biggest focus for you growing up?
No, not at all. I played basketball for the first time in third grade. My best friend and I begged my mom because she had always done it. I played. I hated it. I was like running down the court, and I looked at my mom and was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And I told her, I was like, I never want to play basketball again. And then 3 years later, going into sixth grade, I'm head and shoulders taller than everybody. They're like, come play. One of my best friends, her dad was like, you need to go try out. I'll work out with you. Just give it a try, and if you don't like it, it's fine. And so went to tryouts, made the team, and I've been playing basketball since sixth grade. But in high school, I probably would have said I focused a little bit more on track sometimes, because I did track and field, and I really had always loved like the aspect of like running and competing and being kind of on your own. Like basketball is a team sport, track is a team sport, but like it's individually your own thing. So if you lose, it's on you and nobody else. And I liked that, but I also liked the idea of being with a team. So I kind of started to gravitate towards basketball more.
When you ran track, what were you best at?
Maybe triple jump, I would say. I did triple jump, long jump, high jump, and hurdles. And I think towards the end of it, would say I was best at triple or hurdles.
So jumping was your thing.
Oh, yeah. No track. No running.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, triple jump is you start from a set position and then you jump as far as you can 3 times in a row, right?
Yeah, and so it's either right foot, and then last jumps off your left foot.
Oh.
Or it's left, right. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I thought it was how long you can broad jump 3 times in a row, not off 1 foot.
No, so it's like you start out like you're doing a long jump where you just run and jump, but instead you run, you jump off 1 foot, land on the same foot, jump again, land on the opposite foot, and then land in the pit. And so they measure you from where you took off on your first step or your first jump in the pit.
Well, it makes sense watching how athletic you are on the court now. That's your background.
Yeah.
So you did track growing up. You got into basketball around when you were in 6th grade. You know, obviously a great high school career. What ultimately sold you on coming here to Bellarmine?
Just how close it is to my house. I'm about 25 minutes away from Bellarmine, where my parents live. My dad works down the street on Poplar Level, so on game days he gets off work. He's one of the first ones here. My mom and dad, so they can come to my games. My brother, my grandparents who just moved back to Louisville a few years ago, they can come to all my games. And so just getting to kind of stay with my family and have them have the opportunity to come and watch me and me have that support from them.
So during the recruiting process, it was, I'm staying local, Bellarmine all the way?
Yeah, I thought about going away occasionally here and there, and I don't think it would have ever been an issue, me leaving. It was just more so like I don't want them to not be able to watch me play.
Right.
And it's local, and why not go to Bellarmine? It's a great school. It looks good on applications, on a resume, good education, great alumni program. The fans, everything. Bellarmine's a very tight-knit school, and so
that's a cool spin on something that's oftentimes viewed as I want to stay close for me. I want to stay close so that my family can come watch me because I know they enjoy it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's great perspective.
Yeah, thank you. Because for me, I definitely after college, I definitely want to move away, and my parents know that I've always been the one. I'm I'm gonna leave you guys, but I'll stay here for a few extra years for y'all. So,
yeah. I'm sure they appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. My dad, like I said, I live 30 minutes away. He literally cried when I moved in as a freshman. Baby girl was leaving. He was not okay, but he's good now.
Yeah. Even if you only move 30 minutes away or 3 hours away, whatever it is, the emotions of that big of a transition in someone's life are there. So, it's okay, Dad. It's fine that you cried.
Right.
So last year was the first in Division I for you guys. What was the most exciting part of that transition for you?
I think just getting to play against new teams, honestly, even though the caliber is different. D1, they're stronger, faster, everything. But D2, even now, some teams I could probably still tell you what plays they're going to run and how they're going to run it. And it's nice. But just having that change up a little bit was it was actually really nice. See some new faces and all that stuff. Right.
And talking to some others on the podcast, that's what they mentioned too. We're sick of playing the same teams in the conference all over again.
Yep. USI, Lewis, Drury, I could still tell you what they're going to do. And I can hear exactly what Coach Dugan's telling us to do on defense, how they're passing the ball, and yes, I can remember all that so much. It's engraved in my brain.
Well, you guys study so hard and you're so intense into it, that stuff sticks with you for a while.
Oh, yeah.
And it wasn't easy at first last year for you guys. You started 0-10, obviously. How did you stay into it mentally?
For me, and I'm going to assume the rest of the team kind of had this mindset, it wasn't we understand that we are the first people doing this, and it wasn't going to be our greatest year. It wasn't about that, though. It was just about getting better as a team. This competition, it's harder, yes, but what are we going to do to make sure we're better for next year, and how the next team after when I'm gone is going to be better next year, and just pushing ourselves, just not seeing it as a negative way, well, we're going to go in this game and we're going to lose. No, we're going to go in this game, we're going to give it our best, and we're going to get something good out of it, whether we win or lose.
And again, that's a cool way to view it, because that's an unselfish way to look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you come back here 10, 15 years down the road and the program's consistently competing at the top of the ASUN or whatever it is, like, you're going to know I helped build that.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So what changed for you guys to get to the point where you were competing with the teams in the ASUN, almost everybody, and getting wins?
I'm going to say a lot of it had to do with Coach Allison Mins-Winkler. She's our new strength and conditioning coach. She did a lot for our team. I think we all got faster. We all got a lot stronger because of her. And that made it a little bit easier to adjust and just kept pushing ourselves. And it was, yeah.
Yeah, because after the 0-10 start, you guys rattled off 4 straight wins, and you were right there with teams. So just the strength aspect finally kicked in after a slow start with COVID and everything.
Yeah, COVID hurt us at the beginning of the season for sure. There was a time where we were practicing with 3 girls, and everybody else was in quarantine or waiting to get released from all that stuff. But just having good energy, that really helped us. And when we had the high, we kept the high going. I couldn't tell you what game it was when we lost, but yeah, towards the end of the season, we started getting used to the speed, the quickness, and we started catching up, and we were starting to be more confident in ourselves and being like, oh yeah, you know, they're not going to kill us by 50 because we used to be a D2 team. We were a good D2 team. We can hang with these D1 teams. And we started to do that, and I think we started believing that in ourselves more, and so we did.
Yeah, you guys closed out the season really strong. And just looking back on your career now that it's your 5th year, what was the best and most challenging time of college for you? And the best can be now too.
I would say the best is now. I would, because I'm really enjoying just this year's squad we have. We all get along really great. The chemistry's awesome. But yeah, wow. And just the work, I've put in extra work this summer, and that feels really good for myself, and I can really see that in my game. So I'm really excited about that. But just, yeah, now's a really fun time. When we just got out of COVID, I guess the worst would be being in COVID, because I hated being isolated when we all got sent home and being by myself. I'm sure plenty of other people did. And we came back to campus, and it was a dead campus because nobody was here except for athletes really last year. So it was just different, but all good now.
And you were practicing with 3 players?
Oh, yeah. At one point, yeah. So I think it was for 3 weeks maybe. Yeah. I was one of the 3. I was.
Who were the other 2?
Kathleen, Scott, and Presley Brown. They were fun practices, though. They were.
What do you even do?
I think we just shot a lot. Just lots of shots up. That was about it.
It's so funny. You picture an entire team that's 15, 20 people getting ready, going out there, competing hard, and, oh, what's up, guys? Let's go put up some shots today, and that's it for 2 straight weeks.
It wasn't even practice, because we do individual workouts. It was just having individuals every day. But it was fun. We enjoyed it. Yeah,
I'm sure you did, just to be out there when a lot of other people weren't. Mm-hmm. But, obviously that slowed you guys down a bit, made it harder to adjust. And now you had a full off season, and you get to experience that because you decided to come back. So I guess we'll start with this. Why did you decide to come back?
So many reasons. I love the team. I really do. Last year's team was probably one of the closest teams I've been on. And, we lost, I think, 3 girls, but everybody came back, and we've added a few, and we're still a close-knit team, and I love it. I really do. I love basketball. I already know I'm going to go through an identity crisis when this is all over. Who am I going to be if I'm not 23? But I'll figure it out, because I just love being competitive, being physical, being active, all that good stuff. And then COVID last year hurt us going out in the stands and saying hey to our fans and talking to them. And for me, that's something I've always enjoyed. And I talked about how Bellarmine, they're really good about their support and all this. Just getting connections, getting to talk to people and networking a little, and just talking to our fans and knowing more about them. And I don't know. I didn't know this as a freshman, but as I've gotten older, you really have so many people here who will help you in the future, and you don't, like, not everybody knows that. And so I figured that out last year. Really couldn't do much about it, but I've started to take advantage of it towards the end of the year, and I've been taking advantage of it all summer. And yeah, it just Bellarmine, the team, the game, everything.
You said, who am I going to be if I'm not 23? Have you always worn 23?
Ever since freshman year of high school, yes. I was like number 40 in middle school. Okay.
Why'd you choose 23, Jordan?
No. So in high school, we had a friend group, and we were like the Fantastic Four, and we all played together. And my friend Aaron was 21. Katie Downey, who was here 2 years ago, she was 22. Megan was 24, and so I was coming in as a freshman. I was like, oh, I'll be 25. My brother was 75 in football. I'll keep the 5, just change it a little bit. Well, 25 wasn't an option, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just squeeze in here, take 23, and we'll just make it 21, 22, 23, 24. And that's what we did.
I didn't realize how much thought process went into a number. It's a big deal.
Yeah, I don't think it was like that at the time, but looking back, yeah, it really was a lot of thinking about it.
I mean, that's how people do identify you if your name's not on the back of your jersey, mm-hmm. So I guess that's fair.
Yep.
So this year, obviously, a little bit closer to normal. What's the thing that you were able to do this offseason that you didn't have last year you think is going to make a big difference?
Ooh. Say it again.
So what were you guys able to do this year with kind of a full off-season program that you couldn't do last year with all the craziness around COVID that you think is going to help you this year?
Getting on campus as soon as we did. I think this year we got in at the end of June, early July, and we were here till some point in August. And a lot of people got stronger. A lot of people got to show their game and, like, prove that they can do new things or do what they did and do it better than they used to. And yeah, like I said, working out stronger, faster. We just had more time to prepare coming into a D1 season than we did last year. Last year we were doing like body weight workouts through Zoom together. So I don't think all of us were able to get into a gym because COVID. Some of us could, but not all of us could.
It's so different actually being in person with a real program in a weight room, mm-hmm. as opposed to doing push-ups in your room.
Yes.
Like that's immensely different. And you mentioned Coach A, just mm-hmm. how much of an impact has she had on you guys with everything?
The biggest impact. I mean, you ask any of our girls, she's been absolutely amazing. I think she's someone we all go to just talk to about things and like not regarding basketball. Like if I'm like, school's stressing me out, she's like, well, sit down, let's talk about it. Or like if I could talk about anything and she would listen and help out. But I mean, she stays on us about making sure we're eating enough or eating right, or if we're pushing ourselves in lifts. Half of us are about to do pull-ups on our own without a band. Like, she's really progressed us so much in 1 year.
Everybody I talk to loves her. So
she's the best.
She might have to be a future conversation on the podcast.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Coach A. And how do you pronounce her last name again?
I'm hoping I'm right. Men's Winkler.
Men's Winkler.
Yes.
Okay, got it. So with all of that, do you think a big difference that we'll see this year is the physicality of the team?
I hope so. I really do. I'm a very physical player. If you see me, you probably know that. I spend a lot of time on the ground and trying not to get fouls. But I've always been physical, and I'm really hoping that people are going to step up, use their strength some more, and really be physical with everybody when we're out there, because that's what we have to do. Coach Dugan says it all the time, like, what negates speed? Physicality. And that's what we're going to have to do, because we know we're not going to be the fastest team in the ASUN. And we're not going to be the slowest, but we're not the quickest. And so we just have to be more physical because of that.
And you are a physical player, so I wanted to ask you this. What do you like better, taking a big charge or making a big shot?
Ooh, that depends. Okay, so a charge, I'm going to go with a charge, because those get me going. Like, I remember, sophomore year, I looked at my friend. I told her, I was like, if I get a charge right in the beginning of this game, it's going to be a good game. And I got one literally, I think, 30 seconds into it, and we won. It was USI. It was home. And I just know, if I get a charge, Yes, that's what fuels my fire. Like, it's such a mental game for players, and I love playing that game because it frustrates them.
It's like a thrilling roller coaster at an amusement park. Like, everyone's scared of it. Just try it. It's going to be fine. And then when you do it, you love it.
Yep. Yeah. But I would say a big shot's cool, but if it was a 3, I might be a little bit more excited about it than the charge. 3s aren't my thing last year. We'll see this year. Hopefully they are. I've been working on it.
Okay.
But 3s, I get excited when I do hit those, but nothing I love more than a charge.
Never heard of someone who's fueled by a charge more than making a basket. Lauren Deel, trademarked.
Yes.
There it is. The best game you've ever played? Any level?
Goodness. Wow. Maybe, I think it's like my junior year. I would say, what was the name of that team? Played them around, it's like Glenview or something like that. I can't think of their name. Let me think of another one.
Do you remember what you did that game?
I just played really good. I just remember, I had, McKendree. I'll go that one. McKendree, my junior year before we went to D1. It was a really close game. Bree Torrance, I think she had 36 that game. Tasia hit, a buzzer beater to send us into overtime. For me, I think it just felt good, as a good defensive game. I got 10 boards. And I just, I did my job. I didn't do, anything outstanding, but it's not about that every game. You might not score all this, but, just knowing in that game I did what I needed to do, which was get rebounds and get people shots who needed shots or get a deflection and all that. So, yeah. Yeah,
sometimes the satisfaction is knowing, okay, this is my job. I did it awesome today. Mm-hmm. And it sounds like that was that game for you.
It felt, and I can remember it, yeah.
So you're quick and crafty, fiery around the basket. At least that's my description from what I've seen.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think that's good. So as you look back at your basketball career, how did you develop into that type of player?
So I've always been big on rip and go. That's always been my game. Quick first step, one dribble to the rim. Working on my ball handling has not been my favorite thing to ever do. And it showed a lot as a freshman and a sophomore. And so I've really grown in that aspect of being more comfortable handling the ball and dribbling and getting to the rim in different ways. Because it used to be, one dribble layup. If it's not a one dribble layup, I couldn't do anything. But also Coach Kelly's helped me tremendously with posting up with my back to the goal. I remember coming in as a freshman, I was like, I don't know how to do that. I can't do that. That's not my game. I need to be on the 3-point line so I can just rip it. And so she came in last year, and I love posting up. I don't care if it's 6'6" girl, even though she'd tell me to step out, or if it's a little bitty girl. I enjoy posting up. It's fun. It's physical, which is what I like to do.
It's just like you trying to convince the other players to take charges. You just needed to be finally convinced to post up, and now you love it.
And she just broke it down. I was like, wow, it's a lot more into it than you thought there was. And just knowing how to be slow and controlled on your moves, but also using my speed against bigger posts who are slower than me.
So you guys open at Cincinnati on Friday. Mm-hmm. You're in the zone before the game listening to what?
Ooh, I don't really listen to music ever for anything.
Really?
I literally would drive in my car and I don't turn on the radio. Before a game, I wouldn't put on headphones. I usually just think to myself and talk to myself. It's weird, but that's what I do.
Okay, what are you saying to yourself?
Usually pep talks, telling myself, things that you're going to do, all right, let's try to get a charge. Stay out of foul trouble. Rebound hard, make sure you're blocking out. Who are you guarding? Stay out of foul trouble. Stay out of foul trouble. And so that's pretty much what it is, just for me going over what I'm going to do in the game, thinking about who I'm guarding and what I can do against them if they're guarding me. And just, I think a lot about it.
Even in the car, in utter silence.
Yep. Yes. My car, if you go in there right now and we start it, the radio will be on, but it will be turned all the way down.
That's so funny.
I know. It's like my psychopathic trait. Everybody says, like, you don't listen to music in the car. And I'm like, I do, just sometimes, not always.
I don't know if this makes you feel better, but in the morning, maybe it's because I'm too tired to think to turn it on. Sometimes I get onto the highway after like 15 minutes of driving, and I realized, I haven't been listening to anything for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'll join you with that psychopathic trait.
Yeah, I would say, if anything, I listen to the radio actually more so in the morning because I like the talk shows. They're funny.
Yeah, they are.
They're good.
And that's how I got the idea for the question I asked at the beginning about the movie TV thing, which is Thor's hammer, right?
Yep.
Okay, we're going to stick with that. Any plans for after school as of right now?
Nothing set in stone. Get a job, obviously.
That's good.
I do want to move away, just go expand my horizons a little bit, just get away, maybe come back. But I've been in Louisville, Kentucky for almost 23 years, and it's almost time for me to just get away, try something new.
So no fields you're interested in?
Sports marketing.
Okay.
I have an internship with Lou City and Racing Louisville, sports marketing there. I love it, and it's fun. And I would love to stay in sports marketing, but I'm not, like, dying to do that. If I don't do it, it's not going to break my heart. So I keep my options open. But marketing in general would be a lot of fun to stay with.
What was your favorite part of that internship?
Just getting to meet, like, all the people, like, just the office, the people there, they're cool. And just seeing how, like, a real working world really is. Like, it is very, very, like, I think we all think it's very uptight. And then you get there and you're like, oh, they're still, like, people like us. Like, yes, they're professional, but they still have conversations and might stop a little bit of their work to go talk to their friend across the office. Like, it's normal.
It is normal.
Like, I think we just freak out about, like, oh God, we're going to get to the real world and we're going to be children. And no, like, they're people. We're people.
People don't change.
Yeah. We're all the same.
Yeah, what they do just changes. So
yeah.
You've still got 1 year left to do what you love, play some basketball, and it's hard to believe it starts Friday, right?
Yep, I know. It's like the beginning of the end.
Well, good luck at Cincinnati, and thank you so much for hopping on today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Lauren Deel joining us on the Knights of the Round Table podcast. That wraps up episode number 5. They are at Cincinnati, 7 p.m. tip-off on Friday. Stay tuned next week for our next episode of Knights of the Round Table. Subscribe to our YouTube page. Follow us on social media at BU Knights. Make sure to join us again next week. I'm Jack Kaiser, and Swords Up.